What's up, church media pros? Today we're talking about how to get your live stream feed to your lobby, to a mother's room, or to your auditorium. Check it out. Welcome back to Church Media Pro. My name is Aaron Warden. On this channel, we talk about all things church media production and advertising. Today, we're talking about gear specifically, and I want to talk about how to get your live stream feed to TVs in your lobby, maybe in a mother's room, an overflow space, or iMag in your auditorium. And so I want to get right into it, guys. Here's the gear that you'll need to do this. I'm going to show you my screen. Most of you are going to have some sort of switcher on your live stream feed. If you don't, if maybe you have a tower running outputs or inputs from your cameras, you should have a card that's going to have at least an HDMI output, if not an SDI output. We have an ATEM. It's not this specific ATEM here. This is the Television Studio HD. We have the older Television Studio 4Ks, but they have basically the same output. So I'm just going to show you a picture here. What you're going to want to do is use these SDI outputs on this thing as your source to power those screens, because if you're running a significant distance to your lobby and overflow space, a mother's room, or maybe into projectors for iMag in your auditorium, you're going to want to use SDI for one, because SDI is the professional video standard. HDMI is fantastic up to about 50 feet, but after that you're going to lose some quality unless you've got a really expensive cable that's got a booster inside of it, or you're running through HDMI multipliers. So what you're going to want to do is take the output of your SDI. If you've got an HDMI, there's a great little black magic box here that's going to convert it for you. This is the microconverter bidirectional SDI to HDMI, and it's got ins and outs for both sides here. So you can go in SDI and come out HDMI, or SDI, or go in with HDMI and come out SDI, and this is very helpful, especially if you don't have SDI outputs on whatever you're using for your live stream switch. So what we use these for is to send signals a further distance, or to go off of the back of the SDI output here and switch it into an HDMI at a TV screen. So you're going to want to check out these Belden cables. Are my super high recommendation, or super bat. These ones here are the least expensive. We have these all over the place, and they are made with Belden cable, which is an industry staple, if you will. And these will do up to 4K video, guys. 6G to 12G is what you're looking for when you're doing Ultra HD. 3G is going to do 1080 no problem, and a lot of times you're only sending 1080, so you shouldn't have to worry about it. But if you are doing a 4K stream, you can send a full 4K signal to a 4K TV through this system. So check out this. I've got some links in the description below for all the gear that I'm talking about. So get yourself some 75 footers or more. There's 10 options down here. I think 100 footers is going to be probably the longest you'll want to run without some sort of amplifier in between. And you can use these guys here for amplification, because they do take in power. And there's a little switch on the front here, not a switch, but a power input, and you can use it's a mini USB, so a micro USB, and you can power that with a USB plug, or you can power it with a wall wart sort of situation. And then my recommendation, guys, for TVs is we really like these Samsungs, the QLED TVs, and I do recommend getting at least a 60-inch television in your lobby, guys, because if you're in a sizable church, especially, we have a couple. We started with like 45 or 50-inch televisions, and we immediately had to upgrade to 60 inches just because this wasn't big enough for our space, and moved those smaller TVs to our green room and maybe a prayer room. Our mother's TV, in fact, has a 70-inch because we just wanted a bigger and better experience for our mother's room. And then on the iMag front, guys, if you want to add iMag to your auditorium, which we have, and I might throw a picture of this into the edit here, but we've put 2 of these Hitachi 6500 lumen projectors in our auditorium, and guys, we don't have any extra light coming in. We don't have windows in our auditorium. It's a black box sort of situation. We have plenty of stage lighting, yes, but on our wings we have 2 black walls that cover our side stages, and I'm literally projecting this guy on a black painted wall, a flat back black painted wall, and it appears almost as bright as, not quite as bright as our LED wall, but bright enough, plenty bright enough for people to see what's going on stage when we have, you know, a camera zoomed in, or our handheld camera like super zoomed in on the pastor. But a lot of the times we just have who's ever, you know, worshiping, or who's ever shown on the live stream actually goes to those projectors. And so what we do is actually go from our live stream feed out to a HDMI switcher, or it's like a 1 to 8 situation where we're going a long distance. So we're going into HDMI to a couple TVs. We convert HDMI into SDI at that box and run it to our first projector, where we do an SDI to HDMI conversion and go out the SDI out of the Blackmagic here, because this is not going to only give you one direction, you know, 1-to-1. You can actually go in SDI, convert to HDMI, and still go out the SDI with the same signal, and then daisy chain that over to the second projector, which is going to have another one of these you know, micro converters at it that goes from SDI to HDMI again. And they do have the same signal, guys, and there's virtually no latency, especially between the daisy chained versions, because the signal is immediately you know, passed along to the next box. There isn't any sort of conversion going necessarily on the SDI to SDI out. So SDI in to SDI out isn't going to give you any latency. In fact, our iMag is actually pretty darn good as far as the latency goes. I'm really impressed how quickly we go from our cameras at, you know, at the in the auditorium to the switcher out to these micro converters. We convert a couple times before we even get to our projectors, and guys, it's the latency is rather reasonable, much better than it used to be, and quite usable, and it just adds to the experience. It's not, our auditorium's not necessarily big enough to require iMag, and but it still adds to the experience, especially when you're on the sides of the auditorium and the pastor's doing an illustration, and it really helps to be able to see what's going on stage, especially if you're, you know, in the back, kind of on the side. Another thing, you know, people love to walk out in the lobby, you know, grab a coffee. Maybe they have you know, a child that's acting up or needs a diaper change or something. Being able to go to the mother's room or to the lobby to just kind of let your kid run around for a minute while you still can experience the sound and video of your live stream is super, is just one of those things. It's a modern way of tending to the people that come to your church. They have a great experience every weekend, and it also helps bring people into your auditorium. If you don't have TVs in your auditorium or in your lobby area, when you have an auditorium and you get your worship started, guys, I highly recommend starting out with a hype video or some sort of video announcement that brings people into your auditorium, and play that out on the TVs. And in fact, we run a countdown timer on our live feed that also projects out to our lobby system, because it just helps people to understand how much time we got left. Play that hype song. It just, you know, it's like Pavlov's dog, man. It gets people excited to get into the auditorium on time. You know, finish up their coffee orders, grab them, and run in. And with that, guys, that's all I've got for this video. I hope this I know it's a simple setup and it's a short video, but I hope that this helps you out. If you like this video and you want to support this channel, all of the links are affiliate links because they're all Amazon. If you want to purchase these items or anything really on Amazon, click these links before the next time you purchase something, and I will get a commission. Doesn't matter if you actually purchase the thing that you're clicking on, it just helps the channel out. If you're the last, if you click my links before you buy something on Amazon, that would be super helpful. And if you like coffee and video and church production, guys, run over to friedrichscoffee.com, pick yourself up a bag of 12-ounce beans. They're roasted order, guys, and ship anywhere in the continental United States with free shipping using code FREESHIPUSA at checkout. God bless you guys, and please put any questions you have in the comments. I'd love to answer them for you. Bye-bye.